This motherfucker, James Gunn, literally does not miss. He can't stop making banger movie after banger movie after banger movie after banger TV show after banger movie. Guys kind of cracked at this. So about an hour ago, I just walked out of my first watch through of Superman, directed by James Gunn himself, St. Louis native, as well as starring David Corenswet, Nicholas Hoult, the actress that plays Lois Lane that I can't remember. Oh my God. I want to get this review up as soon as possible. So this is a very raw reaction. It could be a lot of recency bias, but I'm going to try and pull it back as much as I can whenever reviewing this film as much as I can. I'm going to hit on the actors' performances. I'm going to hit on the directing. I'm going to hit on the writing. I'm going to hit on what I think this means for the DC universe in the future right now. And I know that there was a lot of fear and skepticism behind the Superman movie and how is it going to stack up to the Zack Snyder shit, which shouldn't be very hard to stack up to since most of that is absolute fucking ass. No offense, Zack Snyder or Henry Cavill. The DC universe is relying on Superman as a platform to really get going. It needs this movie to succeed, and if this would not succeed, I don't know what happens. Now, with that being said, if the quality of films have anything to do with box office results, the DC universe is going to be just fine because this is a really, really good movie. It's going to split people down the middle, no doubt about it, especially if you really like the Zack Snyder stuff, which even I like the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League to some extent. But this everything in this movie, no offense to Zack Snyder and no offense to Henry Cavill, who I really like and I feel like was let down by a lot of the writing of that more than his performance himself. This is Superman. David Corenswet is Superman. That is everything that is written about David Corenswet's Superman in this movie is exactly how Superman should be, point blank, period. He is hopeful. He sees the beauty in everything. Finally, we get a superhero movie where the superhero is actually more focused on saving everything and everybody around him than destruction in a good kick-ass fight scene, which this movie has a lot of kick-ass fight scenes. David Corenswet and Rachel Bonson, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I just looked it up. I apologize. I should have remembered that. That's on me. Their chemistry as Clark and Lois. It's Clark and Lois. It just is. But going back to like Corenswet as Superman, and yes, the relationship and the love story between Lois and Clark is ripped straight from the comic panels and is exactly what you'd think it should be. David Corenswet's Superman is hopeful. He sees the beauty in every single living thing and person in humanity. It's perfect. It is the perfect Superman and is the perfect thing that people can look up to. Is it corny a little bit sometimes? Sure. It's fucking a superhero movie. There is a scene in this movie where the Justice Gang are fighting a big giant monster and Superman is flying around saving people instead of actually fighting. Not because that was what he was instructed to do, just because that's who Superman is. During the fight, he is literally taking care of people. When the Justice Gang don't show up and he's fighting the monster by himself, he is still saving everybody around him that he can, more than he is focusing on the monster. He even wants to save the monster that is destroying the city. He would rather than save it and keep it alive and take it to an intergalactic zoo. There's a scene in this movie where the monster is about to accidentally step on something or fall on something, and Superman swoops in and saves a squirrel. A squirrel! That's Superman, dude. Going back to the Justice Gang, Guy Gardner as, or Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Hilarious, perfect, love it. Standout performance from this movie for me was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Whenever they originally announced the casting of this movie, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was the one that I was the most worried about. And then I got to see him in the trailers, and then I got to see him in his own clips, and then I got to see him in this movie. That's fucking Lex Luthor. He's evil, he's a dick, he's a genius. He literally hates Superman. The line in this movie that they showed in the trailer that Superman isn't a man, he's an it, is the most like disrespectful, hateful thing you could ever, like, that is diabolically evil. I know a lot of people are worried about the special effects in this movie based on the trailers. It didn't look too great. Trailers in the movie, nothing insane, but it's nothing that like is bad. There's no bad special effects in here, at least in my opinion. Maybe like the scene where Lex is walking through the Fortress of Solitude. Some scenes in there that look a little wonky as like the fight is coming around him. But besides that, everything about, that is still fine. Crypto, the super dog, was fantastic. Spoiler alert, getting to see Supergirl at the end of this movie, as well as realizing that Crypto is Supergirl's dog. Supergirl is just like she is. Kara is just like she is in the comics, at least at some iterations where she is immature and kind of a mess, which could make her appearance with Lobo very fun. And I'm actually kind of excited for that movie. I think my biggest fear going into this film was the fact that we love that we skipped the origin story of Superman. We don't need to see it again. But not only that, but this introduces a lot. It introduces the Lantern Corps. It introduces the Justice Gang. It introduces Lex Luthor, all of Superman's lore. It introduces different universes, and there's a whole lot that's going on in this movie. But James Gunn does such a good way at like bringing it in, and not an overwhelming way that isn't like overstuffing the film and overstuffing the DC universe so early. At its core, continuing to make this a Superman movie. That's what I'm most impressed about. Whenever you look at this movie, you can look at like, he's kind of doing that in every project that's happening in the DCU at this point in time. I mean, everything has a lot, but nothing is overbloated or without its purpose. And the MCU had the privilege whenever take its time to build that, because the fans at the time didn't we knew what it could have led to, so we were okay with waiting, but we've never seen that before, so we don't know what that could turn into. The DCU doesn't get that luxury. They've attempted this and have failed, and now they're trying to do it without the patience of the fans. They have so much they have to introduce, and it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot to say negative about this film. I really, really enjoyed it. Yes, there were some parts of this film that may have dragged a little bit. Maybe we could have spent more time with Ma and Pa Kent. Overall, Superman's a really great movie. It's a really great time. James Gunn literally cannot miss. Excited to see what happens with the DCU in the future. Hope that they make Pattinson the Batman of this universe, because that would be great. And I know want to do the Elseworld projects and keep them different, and there's Matt Reeves and all and this and that. You can do that. You can still make the Superman movies the hopeful, fun, lighthearted Superman movies, and you can make Gotham and Robert Pattinson's Batman. He can still fucking fight crime lord Penguin on a Monday and go fight aliens on a Tuesday. He has to build up to that point. That would be cool with me. But hey, I don't make the rules. So yeah, Superman, I think you should check it out. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think you'll like it too. But that's all I got. Peace, love, adios, and bye-bye. 'Cause when I see you,